welcome to episode 14 of the Stringing It Together podcast. My name is Becky and I am your host, and I am hopefully going to be joined by Keaton today. This is Keaton. If you're returning, you will know that this is a different setup. Keaton, the whole point was to have you in this. She might go back. I decided to film this way so that you might get to see some more of the cats. Mainly just because I was inspired by Danny, who is Little Bobbin's Knits, who you can just always see Little Bobbin and her new cat Teddy, and it enriched my experience. I really enjoyed seeing them. So, okay, she's coming back, good. So this is one of my cats, Keaton, and this is Hans, her best friend, who is a stuffed shark. I love sharks, if you know, and I went to IKEA and I couldn't not come home with him. So let me move so you can see the cat, because that's the whole point. Yes. Okay, so like I said, my name is Becky. We are coming to you from Germany, Frankfurt, Germany, where we currently live. So yes, and maybe you can hear Keaton purring. She's a happy cat. So welcome to everyone. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. And if you're new, thank you for checking me out, and I hope you enjoy. There are so many podcasts and so many great ones. So if you're choosing to spend some time with me, I really appreciate it. And if it's not for you, that's totally fine. Good. So where to find me? Sorry, my show notes are on the floor. I'm sitting on the floor. We're doing it. You can find me in most places as Sopranoknits, on Instagram and on Ravelry, on Periscope. Yeah. And we have a Ravelry group. So if you go to the groups tab on Ravelry and you search Stringing It Together, you will find us. And please do come and join us. Come and say hello. I do read all of those things. Feel free to ask questions, and that is where I post show notes as well. I don't have show notes for every episode. I got kind of bad at it, but I'm going to try to start doing that again because I do think that it can be useful. So there are show notes up for my last episode, and there will be show notes up for this episode as well. Woo! So I think that's all of that. It is the morning of January 29th, otherwise known as day 9. So I need my coffee. Cheers. Okay, so a little bit of news, should be kind of quick. So we are about to start a knit along. Yay, very excited. So I talked about this last time and announced it. It is going to be called the Eurostash Cal, which is a pun on Eurotrash because I like puns. The Eurostash Cal. So yes, the whole point is to knit with yarn that has been dyed by a European indie dyer. Not that I've gotten questions about this, but I do want to specify that it doesn't matter if they are of European origin, just someone who's living and dying in Europe. Yes. So, for instance, someone like Molly of a Homespun House, who is another American, totally fair game because she's living here in Germany and dyeing beautiful yarn. And I know that her yarn is pretty easy to get abroad because she has flat rate international shipping. So there's a plug for Molly's shop. Anyway, yes, so please, no commercial yarn. So something like Regia or like a Zauberball or something like that. We want to keep it to independent people. And I would even say that someone like Hedgehog Fibers, I would rather keep out of this. They started as an indie dyer business, I believe, but now that they like wholesale all over the world internationally, it's a little bit too big. Let's like support small business. That's kind of the point. So anyway, it's starting on February 1st, which is in 2 days, and it goes until May 1st. And the rules are to use at least 50 grams of European indie dyed yarn, and yeah, at least 50% of your project should be indie dyed yarn. You can use other, you know, you can put different European indie dyers together. You can use other yarn if you want, but at least 50%. And yeah, So there is already a lot of chatter going on in the chatter thread on the Ravelry group. So please go over and check that out. And I've also asked people to magic link whatever indie dyers that they are using, just so we can all kind of learn more about what is available. And I'm really, really enjoying that. So please go over and chat if you want to join in and just take a look at what's there, because I'm really, really excited. Also, if anyone is interested in donating a prize for the knit along, please feel free to contact me. You can do so, probably the best way is either Instagram direct message or Ravelry. So yes, that would be really lovely and well appreciated. So thank you very much. Okay, so the only other thing I want to quickly mention before we jump into what I am working on is that I had the extreme pleasure to be interviewed by Frenchie of Sopranoknits, who you probably all know. Frenchie is an amazing, amazing designer. And she also runs the Swatch Studio, which is a course for people who are interested in designing themselves and want to learn how to do it. I beta tested this course for her. When was that? I guess it was like a year ago or something like that. And it really helped me to feel confident designing and releasing my own patterns, which I've done a little bit. And anyway, yeah, she wanted to interview some people who have been through that program, and I volunteered to go first, which I quickly regretted. I was like, oh, but I was nervous, but it was great. I mean, she was really easy to talk to, and we had a nice chat, and that interview is up. It's just audio, and it is on her website. If you search for the Yarn Alchemist Spotlight series on the Sopranoknits website, also I'll link it in the down bar and in the show notes, so you can find it if you want to listen to me ramble on even longer. So yes, let's move on to the knitting. Thanks for sticking with me this long. So I have a finished object and a hoe, or a half object, to show you today. My first finished object, it's a pair. Okay, they might be looking a little sad. They are my Sock Monkey socks. They were my Christmas Eve cast on, which, if you're not aware, is hosted by Danny of Little Bobbins Knits. Every year you cast on something on Christmas Eve. Most people do socks, I believe, and you kind of imbue them with the good juju from Christmas Eve. So this was my choice. The yarn is the Yarn Enabler in her Sock Monkey colorway, and you can see why it's called that. I loved knitting with this yarn. It is so soft. I made them extra long to use as much yarn as possible. They match except for the toes, which I'm fine with. I actually like this better. I wish I had done this on the first one, but I didn't. It's okay. As Jacqueline of Brooklyn Knit Folk would say, what did she say? Sisters, not twins. Yes. So anyway, I did a fish lips kiss heel. They have been worn and actually need to be washed, so excuse that look. But yeah, fish lips kiss heel. I don't know. I just did them extra long. Vanilla sock, my own pattern. I knit them on 9-inch circulars, high sharps, US 1.5, which is 2.25 millimeter. And I'm a loose knitter, so I only do 48 stitches in my socks, which I think most people think is really not a lot, but that's what fits me. It just does. And even, yeah, I think I've mentioned this before, but even when I knit for my boyfriend who has man feet, I think I do 56 for him, so loose knitter, that's all. But there they are. I also wore these for, I went to the Women's March in London, and I wore these on that day, so I feel like they're imbued with extra good vibes now. So yes, there they are. They're wonderful, and I love them, and they're very soft. Done. They're done. Okay. Hearing something weird. Okay, what is next? What is next? Where is it? It's over there. I have to go get it. 1 second. Okay. Okay. So my half object is another sock. It is my This Way Please sock. You tell her you're so funny. Look at her. Your little flat face. Oh, you're so sweet. Okay. It is this sock. This is when it would be nice to have sock blockers. That's one of the things I'm going to be looking for at the Edinburgh Yarn Fest, which, by the way, officially going. Hannah and I, Hannah of the Corner of Craft podcast, we booked our tickets. We're doing it. It's happening. But anyway, I'm going to look for sock blockers while I'm there. But this is the sock. Ugh. Is it easier to see the pattern if I do this? Maybe not. Boop, boop. Okay, but it has this nice pattern. It's by Rebecca Milton. I did it for my Swatch Studio Knit Along, which I totally failed at finishing. But here we go. I have modified the pattern. It calls for a 2x2 rib. I did a 1x1 twisted rib. I think she might have had a gusset in there, and I did a fish lips kiss heel. And also the pattern calls for you to do the pattern on the top of the foot, and I did not do that. So yeah, made it my own, made it work. But there's the first one, and I have cast on the second one. And the yarn is stuck in my project bag zipper. Anyway, there is what I've done so far. Basically just the ribbing and then a couple of rounds of the pattern. Yeah. I've just been working on other things since I finished those, but they're happening. Why is that yarn stuck? Okay, so that is it for finished objects and half objects for today. Now we will move on to whips, and I don't have that many, but that's okay. Can you see Keaton? Can you see her? She's so pretty. Okay, so whips. I have a new whip. I have something new on the needles, and I actually have a lot of progress done on it, I think. So I cast on a sweater. So this is my first pullover, actually. I've knit 2 cardigans, a fingering weight and a DK weight cardigan. And this is my first pullover. And I'm not really following a pattern, which I know sounds crazy. But I have started with a pattern as a guide. So here's what I have so far. I love this. I'm really excited. So the yarn, first of all, is Madeline Tosh. It is their MCN base, which I think you can only get on their website. And the colorway is Holy Grunge. And I just adore it. It's like this beige, maybe like pinky beige, and then it has neon speckles. I love it. I love it because, yeah, it's neutral and neon, and it's subtle, and it's not too crazy, and it's wonderful. So the neckline, you might be like, that's weird. I took, it's like a boat neckline with a really interesting construction that, yeah, I think it's unusual. And I took this from Melanie Berg's pattern Threshold, but I am not following the pattern beyond that because it has a really pretty sort of, if you've seen the Void Shawl, it's the exact same stitch pattern as the Void Shawl with those kind of diamonds, triangles, or whatever. And I like that pattern a lot, but I just didn't want it for this yarn. I just wanted like vanilla sweater. But I really liked the neckline, and it also has a drop shoulder, which I wanted. And then I'm gonna have to do some improvisation. I know what I want at the bottom of the sweater, but I don't know how to do it yet. So either I will make it up, or I will find a pattern that has it and like Frankenstein it all together. But anyway, I'm really, really happy with how this is working out. So there are where I've separated for the sleeves, and I have a good amount done on it. But I just think this yarn is amazing. This is more my style of this like neon speckle stuff. At one point I had bought a skein of Cosmic Wonder Dust by Madeline Tosh, and it was just too like unicorny for me. But I think this, since it's such like a more earthy neutral, it's just more me, and it's something I'm more comfortable with, but it's super fun, and it's like a bra, like a sweater bra. Anyway, I'm really excited. So I am almost done, like really almost done with the first skein. That's all I have left. I have another skein of it somewhere. I have a crying cat. And then I only have 2 skeins of this yarn though. So I'm going to pair it with this, which is Shalimar Yarns Blue Steel. Blue Steel is a colorway, yes. And it's their Breathless base, which is, merino, cashmere, and silk. So this is like luxury soft sweater. So I'm gonna do this at the bottom of the body, and then for maybe most of the sleeves, we'll see how it goes with how much yarn I have left with the other skein of this, but I'm really enjoying working on it a whole lot. I went down a needle size. This kind of has this twisted rib thing, which I really love the look of, but I have to say this was worked flat, and purling through the back loop is like my nemesis stitch. I did not enjoy that. And I thought, oh, maybe I don't want the boat neck as wide, so I messed with the numbers, and I had to like rip it out 3 times and redo it. It was not fun. I did like negative knitting on my train ride to London, which was like 6 hours. It was sad. But anyway, I'm really happy with it. I'm knitting it on my high sharp interchangeables because that's what I knit everything on, apparently. And it's living in my Hannalisa bag, my Hannalisa Haferkamp bag that she gifted to me because she's awesome. There's her tag. I love this bag. It's got a bunch of patterns, but not patterns, pockets. But I said patterns because I just saw the pattern. Because I was trying to think if I could show you here, just so you know what this pattern looks like if you're interested in it. It has this kind of texture on it, but I'm just choosing not to do it on this. I might knit another one someday that has it. I had already bought that pattern and I liked the neckline, so I just kind of used that part and then proceeded in a different way, if that makes sense. But yes, I'm very, very excited to have this sweater. My goal is to have it finished by Edinburgh Yarn Fest so I can wear it there. And I think I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. So my other work in progress, I cannot show you because it is my sample for my design for Woods, which is a new book being put out by Hannalisa Haferkamp and Verena of the Wool Club. And I am designing a hat for it, which is very exciting. Yeah, I haven't mentioned it in a little while because we had a lot of yarn changes. I learned a lot in this process just about, yeah, like yarn choice and how it works with a design it's like an interesting and I think important kind of relationship. So yeah, we changed the yarn up a bit, but it was always going to be Ovis etc. yarn, which is beautiful, beautiful yarn. So I can show you the yarn, I just can't show you the progress that I have. So this is the yarn. It is a new base for Saskia, who is Ovis etc. It is a DK weight. It's slightly on the lighter side of DK, but it is DK. Hang on, I have the tag. Sorry, it took me a minute because I swatched with I think 3 other bases of hers, so I have a lot of Ovis etc. tags in my drawer. Okay, but this is her tag. She is on Etsy, and I mean, she just got this base. It's brand new, so she's probably not even selling it yet. And she's not planning on selling it in 140 gram things, but she just gave me a ton because just so I would have enough. But it is Kempish Heidelshop, DK. So yeah, and I talked to her a little bit about it because I'm just really loving working with it. And the sheep are Dutch sheep. They're in the Netherlands. And it's definitely, most of her yarns are more rustic yarns, but I am really enjoying that right now. I'm in a very like woolly phase. Not that, you know, there's a time and a place for merino, but I am interested in departing from that, I think, more often in the future, and I'm really excited to see a lot of indie dyers doing that. Kind of, yeah, just doing different things. But I want a sweater in this, I already told her. But there are little little pieces of hay every once in a while that will come up. And they're really small, but it's just like, it's real yarn. It's all real, but you know, it's cool. It makes you feel like connected to where it came from. So I'm really excited about it. And it's knitting up really beautifully, and I'm excited about the pattern, and I won't be able to show you for quite some time, but you'll see it eventually. So yeah, anyway, that's fun. And that's it. I haven't worked on my crochet blanket at all, so I'm not going to show it to you. That sweater's gotten a lot of love. It's been a really insane couple of weeks of vanilla knitting after I got through that crazy neckline. Has been great. I've just been craving vanilla knitting, especially while working on a design. Like, that takes a lot of brain space, and sometimes you're just like, okay, I need to put that down and just knit without thinking. Anyway, let's move on to stash enhancement, because I do have some. So I think this arrived in the mail the day after I podcasted last. By the way, guys, I want to give myself a little pat on the back, because it has been exactly 2 weeks since I last recorded. And I fail at that all the time. Yeah, I've told you guys before, but keeping on the schedule. Yay. Anyway, yeah, I think this showed up the following day, or actually it was in the area, but I had to go to the Zollamt, which is like the, where they, like, customs office, basically, and to pick it up. And it was kind of a funny experience. They made me open it. And they were like, what is this? And I was like, it's yarn. And they were like, what are you going to do with this? And I was like, I'm going to knit with it. But actually what I said was, I don't know. What do you think I should do with it? Like, what should I make? I don't know. I haven't decided. And the guy was like, anyway, it was worth the trip out there to go get it. I am so excited about this. It came a long way. You guys, look at this. Okay, now before I tell you who this is, I bet you'll be surprised if you know this dyer. This is none other but the wonderful Chili Knits. So I feel a little silly because Connie is the queen of neon. She is the neon queen. And this is like the most neutral thing I've ever seen her dye, and it's what I ordered. But I mean, look at it. Oh my God. It is so beautiful. So this is her Nimbus fingering, which is her MCN. I'm in an MCN mood. And it's, oh gosh, caracol, which I looked it up. It means snail. I don't speak any Spanish. But, I mean, nailed it. Connie, you nailed it. It looks like a snail. It's so soft. It's so, so beautiful. I have no idea what to do with it. I'm thinking maybe brioche. Again, I want a sweater in this, although this is like a similar kind of tone to the Madeline Tosh. I saw it in her shop, and it was still in there a couple days after she did her update, and I kept going back every day. We kept going back. It's still there. It's still there. And then I just bought it. I love it so much. And it's interesting. I find myself really drawn to neutrals lately, which, I mean, I've always liked neutral things, but it's just interesting. I feel like my aesthetic has changed a lot, and that it's in the process of changing. And actually, I feel that in a lot of areas of my life. Like, even this room, everything in this room pretty much is like white, or, okay, there's some beige, but it's very light and bright and white, and that has not always been my default. Yeah, when I was growing up, I somehow convinced my parents to let me paint my walls in my bedroom like a deep indigo blue. And then my first couple of apartments, I would always paint my walls like crazy colors and then paint them back before I moved out. Like, it was worth it to me because I hated having white walls, and I just wanted like color. And I don't know, I feel like this change is somewhat of a result of having to really pare down in order to move to another country. Yeah, because I had to become a minimalist, and I'm I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying having a smaller wardrobe, having less things. It's less of a clutter in my mind. And yeah, I kind of feel like this sort of aesthetic or style change or something is a direct result of that. It's not like I don't still like color. I do, and I still want color in my wardrobe and in my life, but I'm drawn more to neutrals and like earthy things lately, which is interesting. But I've always felt like I didn't know what my style was. I don't know if other people have that problem. I know that some people, I look at them, and especially in the knitting community, like someone like Danny from Little Bobbins, like she has a style. Like you see it and it's hers and you're like, yup. Even someone like my good friend Jacqueline of the Brooklyn Knit Folk podcast, you know, she is like really clear about her style, but she's also a visual artist and a graphic designer, so that kind of makes more sense. I always feel like I'm kind of like waiting around trying to find what my style is. And I think it's kind of cool that knitting is helping me to explore that. Although it's frustrating when sometimes I'm like, oh, these colors are cool together, and then I knit a whole thing and then I don't wear it because it doesn't kind of fit with what I actually want to wear. Sometimes I find that I have a disconnect between I like that and like that's something that I would actually pull out to wear, if that makes sense. So I don't know. Sorry, that was kind of a tangent, but I'm enjoying this. This is just what I want right now. This kind of thing. Beautiful. Okay, so my other acquisitions. Oh wait, I wanted to show as well that included in this package from Connie was this so cute Progress Keeper. It says Chili Knits on it, and it's from this person, I guess, in the UK. I've never heard of this shop, but check it out because this is adorable. I can't wait to use it. I'm gonna put it on my sweater. And then also, this is freaking brilliant. It is a Kitchener stitch pin. I love this because I always forget Kitchener stitch. Like I have to look it up every time. I think the last time, because I finished these socks. I always knit cuff down. I finished these socks very close to each other, these and the other ones. So I think I didn't have to look it up because I did it in such rapid succession. Anyway, I feel like I'm getting off topic. I do have more acquisitions. I did not purchase them. My friend Virginia from my knitting group here in Frankfurt organized a yarn swap in our knitting group, which was brilliant. We came up with the idea together, though, maybe a while ago, just as a way to sort of like take some stuff in your stash that you feel like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Like it's nice, but I don't have plans for it, and then swap it out for something new so you feel like, yay, I have new yarn without spending money. And Virginia brought a lot of stuff, and almost everything that I got is from her stash. Except for this. This is just some crochet cotton. Someone had like a 4-pack and she didn't want it, and I thought I want to try it out for lifelines and stuff like that. So got some of that. That's kind of boring. Then I got a ball of this. So Lang Merino 70, I think it's like a DK weight. 50 grams, just says virgin wool and only 2% polyester. It's pretty soft. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing like a marled hat with this or something. I just want like a black and white marled hat. I think that would be really nice to have. Then, this is so soft. I'm obsessed with it. Rowan Cocoon, which I think is a bulky weight. And this is 80% wool, 20% mohair. And I don't think it has a color on here. It has some number, but that's that. But I don't know. I don't know what this will be. Maybe also a hat because it's very soft. I love that. And then I'm really excited about these. Like I didn't grab them right away, and then I thought, you know what? I've always wanted to work with this. I really want to try it out. So she had 2 balls of this lovely Icelandic wool, which you've probably all seen, the Let Lopi or the Lopi yarn, in an Aran weight. Again, this is rustic wool, and this is why she decided that she was willing to part with it, because she thought that it would be too scratchy to work with. I'm not afraid of scratchy, and I've always wanted one of those like color work yoke traditional Icelandic sweaters, and I think I'm going to use this as inspiration to knit one. Obviously, I will need more yarn, but this is actually very inexpensive to get here in Europe. And it is kind of scratchy, but I don't care. I love it. Yeah, so that's my thought. I don't know if that's something I would be able to find at Edinburgh Yarn Fest. Otherwise, I can order it online. But I'm thinking that maybe I will get some more colors, and this could be a sweater that I can work on later this year so that I can have it for next winter. It doesn't seem like the kind of thing I want to cast on now because it's going to be a heavy, warm sweater, and while we're still in the thick of winter. Yeah, I just think it's something I'll want to work on maybe in the fall next year. Also, I want to get some more color work experience down before I attempt a garment, because I've only done one color work project ever. So anyway, I'm excited about those. I'm thinking of getting like a really light gray or maybe sort of like an oatmeal color, and then doing some sort of colored yoke, and I'm really excited. That'll be fun. Yeah, okay. Keaton's still sleeping. So I don't really have a skeins of my dreams section this week. Yeah, so I guess that's pretty much it for the knitting stuff. I want to keep it short today. So I'll move on to just a little bit of life stuff if you're interested. If you're not interested, that's totally fine. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, as that helps other people find the podcast who might find it interesting. Yeah. So anyway, if you're leaving us now, see you later. Anyway, my life. As you might have seen in the intro, I had another trip to London where I went to go visit Nathan, who, if you're new, is my boyfriend. He lives in London. And yeah, you might have seen that we attended the Women's March in London. And I was really glad we did that. It was a good time. I did not knit the famous pussy hat, but I did see a lot of them there, and it was really funny because I was telling Nathan about this, and he was like, Becky, like, I don't think that's a thing. Like, I don't think that we're gonna see that many of them. And we did, and I was like, pussy hat, pussy hat, pussy hat, see? And he was like, okay, it's a thing. And then when we got home that night, we were watching live coverage of the the Washington March, because of the time difference, we were able to do that at night in London. And I was like, look at that sea of pink hats, like, those are my people. And he was just like, okay, Becky, it's a thing. And then all week I've been sending him like the Time cover that had the pussy hat on it, and also the New Yorker cover for this next week has it on it. And I was like, see, it's a thing. He believes me, it's fine. But yeah, we did that, which was lovely. It was a lot of people, so, which was good. It was very cold, but it was good. Yes, so we did that, and then, I mean, going there, the trains had been insane, and I hate crowds, and I had like my fill of crowds. So we ended up walking quite a bit back. It ended in Trafalgar Square, and we walked along the Thames for a while and ended up going to the Modern Art Museum, the Tate Modern. And we didn't go like into the museum really, but we went all the way up to the top and looked at their like viewing thing on the 10th floor. Really beautiful views like around the sunset, and there's some footage of that as well, I'm sure. That was really nice. And then we went and got a coffee in the cafe, and also had a beautiful view over the Thames and St. Paul's, and oh, it was so nice. Yeah, and then the next day we spent the day going to a bunch of markets. The market, like the street market scene in London, is insane. It's so great. So we just had so much fun walking around and like getting some food, and yeah, we ate some really great food, and it was just, it's so great. I enjoy being there and visiting him. I also had an audition a couple days before that, but the weekend we were just really able to just spend with each other, and that was so great, because those times are few and far between. But yeah, London's really cool. I really enjoy getting to visit there. So yeah, I think that's kind of it for that. Other than that, it's just been crazy life stuff, especially getting ready for some auditions coming up. I'm leaving tomorrow to go to Bern, Switzerland. I have an audition at the Opera House there for a Fest chorus position, which means if I were to get the job, it is a full-time, like, tenured, salaried, benefited position. So that would be nice. And also a friend of mine from college works in the chorus there. So I'm staying with him and I'm really excited to see him. And yeah, but I've been practicing a lot for that. A lot. So I think I'm ready. It's kind of out of my hands now. It's just if they like me and want to hire me. And I do really still want to do solo stuff, but having a job like this in my pocket would be a huge relief, just knowing, you know, financially and visa-wise and everything like that. But I still do want to pursue solo stuff, but keep your fingers crossed. This would be incredible. If it doesn't work out, I have another audition on the 7th in a smaller city that's closer to Frankfurt. It's like an hour. It's in Germany and it's about an hour away. Also another Fest position. And then also right when I get back from Bern, I like sleep here and then turn around the next morning and go to Cologne, which is, it depends on what train you take. I'm taking the cheap train, so it'll take a while. But it's between an hour and a half to 2.5 hours, depending on which train you take and how many stops and that kind of thing. And I'm auditioning for a choral agent. So someone who could help send me out on auditions to get chorus work. Yeah. But otherwise, I'm still rehearsing at Frankfurt Opera and teaching a lot, and just practicing a ton and trying to do some knitting and trying to get this design all set for Woods. So it's a busy time, but yeah, it's good to stay busy at this time in our world. That's all I'm going to say about that. Anyway, speaking of busy, I am teaching today online. I teach my little, oops, my phone ran out of space. But anyway, I was about to sign off. I have to teach today a little bit online. So I'm going to get going. But anyway, thank you so much for spending this time with me and happy knitting. And yeah, I will see you in about 2 weeks. So thank you guys so much. Please like and subscribe and comment or whatever. And yes, I'm being awkward, but thank you so much for watching and I will see you soon. Thanks guys. Bye. Bye, Keaton.